Hello, Goddess. This is Andrea with You Are Mind, Body, Soul. And in this space, I guide goddesses to bridge the mind, body, and soul through psychosomatic education, consciousness reconditioning, as well as alchemy and energetics. Happy Imbolc, happy Groundhog's Day, and happy birthday to me. So I'm actually filming this video on the day of my birthday, which was Groundhog's Day. So I will be releasing this a few days after. Happy February is one of my favorite months of the year, and I am just so excited to be here. I wanted to share some of my light and my energy with my communities. So I've decided to do a special topic for this occasion, and that is stepping into your queen energy. I have my water with me today and my gorgeous cup that one of the Goddess Gang members gave to me. Mm. Make yourself comfortable. Come on in. Hopefully, you have something nice to drink. Hydrate yourself, whether that's water or tea or coffee. It has been such a beautiful morning for me so far. I went out to a lovely breakfast at this really gorgeous cafe that was just so scenic and beautiful. And I brought home some macaroons, different flavored macaroons, which is like one of my favorite pastries. And as you all know, I did not do sugar for all of January, along with caffeine. I cut caffeine, and I also cut alcohol. So it was 30, 33, 32 very clean days for me. And it has done so much for my consciousness, really allowing me to soak up what my feminine energy feels like and what my natural baseline feels like without all of the extra stimulants. And I've also been on a social media break. So it's just a really, really great time to be doing all of these things. And Imbolc, which falls on February the 1st and February the 2nd, is one of those sacred holidays that are not necessarily commercialized. But if you come from a community where you are tapped into the natural rhythms of life, you will begin to understand that Imbolc is actually a very sacred day. Imbolc, which is February the 1st and the 2nd, essentially is a representation of what is to be a harbinger of the new season of spring. So we are basically about in the middle of winter. So this is deep winter for the Northern Hemisphere. And traditionally, in the medicine traditions and, the spiritual witch traditions, this is actually a time where we begin to prepare for fertility. Can somebody say fertility, goddess? Yes. So my whole essence and my whole being is about the power of birth, which is your creative energy and how you are showing up for life and creating and unfolding yourself and regeneration. So I really just want to celebrate that with you. And one of the first things that I want you to think about before we really get into this topic, make yourself comfortable. I don't have anywhere to be for a few hours, so I'm not in a rush today. I want you to think about what it is you would need to prepare for fruitfulness and for the spring. Today, one of the things that's really came up for me, that's really coming up for me in my meditations and in the time of reflection that I spent with my journal this morning and just sitting in quiet, looking out the window, and just being grateful for life itself. I'm so truly grateful. And I just feel as if I'm overflowing and always blooming, And one of the things that came up very strong was letting go. And so I will say that in this first week of February, these next few days here, it is an excellent time to do some final shedding off and some final clippings of the things from the year 2023. One of the big themes about this season of the year, like the last year that has just passed, has been cutting back and reducing. So the reduction and the benefits of taking it easy and actually not having to show up for quite so much. How can I describe this? So not obligating yourself and overburdening yourself just out of habit. Okay. And so Imbolc in this week that we are in, this first full week of February, is really that transition point behind between your opportunity to really let go of the old and step into the new. So shout out to all of my astrologers that listen to this channel. I'm not an astrologer, but I do dabble and I enjoy the topic and I enjoy the energy of just being aware of how our planet is positioned in the solar system and how that interaction affects everything. It's real queen energy to have awareness and to also keep your head on the swivel. So let me check in with my notes and also let me make an adjustment here. So first of all, one disclaimer that I want to make as I get into this video is to let you know that this content and this information is not for everybody. And stepping into your queen era is something that has been so popularized. We always have that yes, queen energy. And we have grown into a space where we are consistently and habitually calling one another queen as a term of endearment and as a reflection of a pop culture situation that has developed. And I think that that feminine empowerment is beautiful and I encourage it. But I also want to encourage some consciousness with the words and the energy that we are putting out there. Because if you are calling yourself a queen, that means that you have certain things activated in your life that puts you in a position of authority, predominantly over yourself, primarily over yourself, and then over the kingdom or the community that is connected with you, that you shine your light into and that you share your energy with. So the consciousness is what I really want to call forth in this conversation. And if you are really looking to step into your queen energy, I'm going to give you a lot of guidance in this video that is going to help you to start to reflect and identify what it is you would like to embody for yourself as your activated queen energy. So make sure that you stay to the end. It is going to be a good time. I'm so happy to be here. All right. So queen energy, when we really think about queen energy and the queen archetype, there is an essence of regality about her. When you see a queen walk into the building, the way that she carries herself and the way in which her vibration exudes, you know that you are witnessing energy that is regal. There is a opulence about her, whether it is a quiet internal way in which she is carrying herself, or whether it just be the external presentation. There is a scent of regality that a woman in her queen vibration holds. A woman in her queen vibration is striving for the maximization of her human potential as well. And when we are maximizing our human potential, it's essential that we are moving through our goddess stage. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in a few. And our human potential expands out into the spectrum of positively impacting those around you. Queens are independent. They are in control of themselves and they are in control of their life. And this is, I want to talk about the positive aspects of the queen. Obviously, there is a shadow aspect to everything in life and every archetype. And you can check out my video on shadow work, which is a powerful video, and it is also one of my very favorite topics. You can look at that. But today we are really going to highlight what it is to be a queen and the embodiment of that energy. So a queen is independent. She is independent, especially as a conscious queen. Her consciousness is independent of negative influences from society or the demands of the community that she is surrounded by and connected to. She is elevated. So, sitting with the energy in the term of elevation, we think about a queen that is on a throne, but typically the average person doesn't really go around sitting on a throne. But the idea of being comfortably seated and positioned in life in order to be in a place where you can maximize your potential and maximize the legacy and the influence that you leave in the world would require that you have some type of throne, a theoretical throne that you sit on. And I feel that being elevated comes from truly being grounded in yourself and your identity, which then allows you to be grounded in the identity that you then show up for in the world when you are being called upon to serve. Because another big hallmark of queen energy, which I have learned as I have been growing and developing my queen energy, a big hallmark of queen energy is service. So a queen is here for the people, which is why for me personally, I admire women. When I see a woman, a strong woman in her queen energy, a boss woman that has a business or an organization that she has, struggled through and has successfully outgrown those struggles to the point where she is now having new issues. One thing I always say to myself is I love my struggles. I value my struggles and I appreciate my struggles because I look around at a lot of people and the struggles that they have, I would not want those for myself. And I would not want those for my sisters. And so I appreciate a woman that is resilient. I find that resiliency is a powerful statement in term for what a queen does, because to show up in service for other people can oftentimes be the hardest thing that a woman in her queen archetype has to face. A woman in her queen archetype has to have discernment about what it is she is giving, has to offer for the people that she is serving. And she also has to have discernment about who she wants to serve and what that capacity looks like. Because when you start to veer along the darker spectrum of that queen energy, a queen can just allow herself to be governed by the demands that society and her community is creating for her. So there is a very delicate balance. And what I have found is that having really cultivated my inner goddess energy, now that I have stepped into a place where I have decided for me and my personal journey that, okay, I want to really focus on that queen archetype energy. What it is learning how to balance and how to temper what it is I share from my cup. Queens have alliances and they are resourceful because one of the hallmark essences of queen embodiment is being well connected as well as influential and someone that people trust, is being resourceful and being able to maintain and nurture healthy alliances, and then to always be able to have space to hold and cultivate new alliances. This is very important and it's a big part of queen energy. Okay. So in my journey, I'll share with you some of the things that I have come to realize that differentiate a queen and a goddess. And give me 1 second, I forgot to turn this off. So what I want to say is I recommend, because we are in an academy, we are in a temple, we're talking about deep things that affect the feminine collective consciousness as we are elevating. This is one of my goals, is to elevate the divine feminine consciousness. Oh, and by the way, if you are enjoying this so far, please remember to like this video. It means so much to me when you like this video. I appreciate you so much giving that to this space and to this channel and our community. It goes far to help the algorithm. Please share this video so that other goddesses such as yourself can get this information. And please remember to subscribe if you are new to this channel. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome. And also, I am looking to grow this channel to 500. So please spread the word. I appreciate you so much. When I grow, we all get to grow. And I would love to continue to show up in service for this community and this channel. And it would just help me so much if you could do that. So one of the things that I have learned in my development is that it was important for me and my journey to cultivate my goddess energy first. So when it comes to mastering things, you can check out the video, Level Up Your Life in 6 months. It was a recent video that I think it was like the first video that I created for 2024. Level Up Your Life in 6 months. That video talks about what it requires, the process of mastering something, mastering a skill in order to find your next level, and just where you should focus and how you go about that process. Okay. And that just reminded me of something. Let me write this down. Just gave me an idea for another video. Okay. And so one of the things that I have done, and I have been practicing this for years, is mastering my goddess energy. Because when you go to step into your queen archetype, now you are being presented with a whole variety of brand new issues. So as I was saying before, every time that you come into a new level, you will experience new issues, and we want to be grateful for those issues. If the issues that you have in life and the challenges that you are coming across in life are always the same, you're having the same problem year in and year out, that means that you are in a circle rather than a spiral. So you are cycling through the same thing in life and you are not growing. So I always invite, and I am always grateful for new issues. For example, let's say that now I want to start a new business and I need to learn how to find investors. I need to learn how to network with those people that can guide me in the proper direction. Now I want to hold a new title, a new professional title. And so I would be seeking out mentors that can help me overcome those learning curves, because now I'm at a new level, a level that I have never been before. And so I'm going to want that support. Okay. So this is what I'm saying by moving through the levels. So once you start to truly become in alignment with the process of developing your queen energy, you're going to have to embody new skills. And the difference between goddess energy and queen energy, I feel like goddess energy is a healthy precursor for a healthy, balanced, conscious queen embodiment. So for example, practicing my goddess energy and the courses that I have that I offer right now on yambs.co, yams.co, cater to your feminine energy, your goddess energy, which is going to get you in alignment with your masculine side, your feminine side, and then it's going to draw down that divine connection so that you are able to get that divinely inspired directive, and then you are able to delegate your energy into these channels harmoniously. And when you start to master your goddess energy, what I have learned is that then there is that aspect of the creative unfoldment, the creative product. Because you are balanced with the masculine, the feminine, and the source, then you start to create from a divinely guided space. I remember when I first started working on my goddess energy, and I created that first course, 14-day mind, body, soul reset course. I was fresh out of college, and I was in the process of mastering my diet and getting acquainted with what my body needed to eat and what I needed to function optimally. And it took me years to master my diet and to get my body and my mind in alignment with a place where I could feel consistently inspired to share my inspiration with the world, and not from a place of lack, not from a place of feeling pressured to have to do something because I'm trying to please people, light goddess versus dark goddess, and instead doing things because it came from the depths of my authentic being. So goddess energy as a precursor for queen energy is very, very powerful. So when you are becoming in your queen energy, when you are becoming her, the queen that sits on your own throne versus goddess energy, I find that the priorities are a bit different. So when you are really delving into your goddess energy, I find that it is healthy and it's safe to cultivate your feminine energy and learn how to utilize your masculine energy as a tool so that your feminine energy is supported and that there is a healthy barrier. I don't want to use the word barrier, but there's a healthy support and a healthy foundation and a healthy container in which you can flourish in your goddess energy, which is why that video, what is the video? The video Level Up Your Life in 6 Months talks about boundaries a little bit. We go over that so you can find out more about that. Now, when you are striving to be in your queen energy, the masculine and feminine energy, they actually play differently and the priorities are actually different. So this is what I tapped into when I was reflecting on this topic. So the distribution of the masculine energy when a queen is activated, okay, her masculine energy is more so going to be going towards winning. Okay, it is going to be going towards her bottom line and her vision, which requires all of those masculine features of consistency, putting in the action, and walking the path through action and not just dreaming about it and feeling into it, which is where the connections come from, which is where those alliances come from, and the process of creating. So the distribution of the masculine energy from the goddess realm of things is going to help to keep you safe to explore yourself and cultivate your authentic essence. And the distribution of masculine energy when you are in your queen energy is going to be going so that you are then directing your path externally and you are preparing to align with those results, those very intentional results. So the priorities are different when you're a goddess versus when you are in your queen embodiment. And of course, we vacillate through all of these embodiments, and there are more archetypal embodiments that we have, such as the mother, as well as the maiden and the crone, and several other embodiments. I love archetypal work. If you like this archetypal medicine, I can do some more videos on that. Just let me know. So these are some of the things that I noticed was the difference. And I will tell you in my personal journey that for a while, I always look at these young girls and they're always like, I'm a queen. And it's so funny. By the way, I'm 36 today. I feel really good. And it's also really funny because every time I ask somebody how old do I look, they always think I'm 25. It is like a consistent 25. And then I'm always like, no, guess again. And then they're like 28. And it's just hilarious. I cannot tell you how many times a week people tell me that they think that I'm 25 years old. I am 36 today. So I've had 35 full cycles, well 36 full cycles around the sun, baby, and it is just going to get better and better from here, especially as I am striving to become dedicated with my queen energy. And so I find that my journey with transitioning from mastering myself, because goddess energy is self mastery. It's all about the self, it's all about the world within you and feeling comfortable with yourself and embodying who you truly are. And as I started to transition and this desire started to awaken in me to show up for the queen energy, I had to ask myself some questions that were setting barriers between my goddess energy and my queen energy. And so you may find that some of these questions come up for you in the process. And one of the barriers that I had was consistently showing up for the world. I had this mindset that I was here to service everyone. And when I started to really upgrade and up level my queen energy consciously, I realized that I was here for my people and not everybody. So ask yourself, where do you feel the pressure to show up in service to? And is that actually valid? Are you making this up in your head? Because that desire to need to show up for everybody and everything can actually become very toxic. And so I had to determine how I wanted to show up, because now I'm coming out of my comfortable womb, flowy water, going with the flow, listening to myself and prioritizing that to, okay, now I have people that need me and they need me consistently. So I had to go through a lot of healing that I was able to do with doing the work that is in the Feminine Alchemy and Freedom course. So I did the healing. So I didn't always feel like I was leaking energy or that I didn't have enough energy, and moving through the highs and the lows of life and found that harmony. And by the way, my birthday sale is going to continue for a little bit longer, where on the website yams.co you can go into the Goddess Alchemy Academy, the Goddess Mystery Academy, and you can get 50% off of anything that you see in the cart, and using the code goddess50. So check out the website, check out that sale. It's just goddess, capital G, I believe, 50, and you'll get 50% off of everything in the course. So I found that after I healed, which allowed me to fully embody my goddess energy, that I now did not feel robbed, or that I did not feel a sense of lack when I showed up for the goals that I set on my mission to master my external world. So there were no longer those limitations. So ask yourself, are you fully healed? Because the things that we don't heal, they end up showing up as blockages to our next level, and they can really set us back, especially the stuff that we don't take the time to be conscious of, and then we don't really take the time to work through. Do your inner work through, dig it up, dig the weeds out, and allow the blooms to unfold instead. Okay. Another thing that I found, the difference between goddess energy and queen energy, is that goddess energy is more sensual, queen energy is more sensational. So goddess energy is the what fills up who you are, and it fills up your light. It is your essence. It is your signature, like what you are known for energetically, like the people that really, really see you and that really know you as a woman and as a friend and as a connection. They will see the most authentic, deepest parts of yourself. And you will cultivate that in yourself as well, those sensual aspects. So those are your five senses, your six senses. Okay. And the way in which you are receiving life in through all of your senses, that is your goddess energy. We become very aware of the experience that we are having in life through that internal reflection and that internal nurturance and that nurturance that we have with the divine, that spiritual connection that we have with source, with God. The goddess energy cultivates that tremendously. Queen energy is more sensational. So it is how you show up. It's a lot of, you could think of first house energy for my astrologers. So that is how you want to be perceived for the world, because everything is not for everybody. A goddess, she has her mystery. She has the things that she needs behind the closed doors and the people that she finds energy and connection with, those relationships. And then when she steps out into the world, she is sensational. So that is, being viewed and being elevated and how she is being received. So the queen energy is more like what is on the front and what you do with what is showing up on the front of that. So how you are serving and how you are acting and how you are interacting. I hope that makes sense. So that's another thing. So it is the face value of thing. It's the face that you save for community, for social media, for the relationships that you show up on. Oh my God, this thumbs up feature. Does it do anything else? No, I'm just being silly. Oh, just one time. Okay, I didn't even put a thumbs up and a thumbs up came on the screen, which I'm just going to say that that's God giving me a thumbs up for doing a great job. And also reminding y'all to like the video. Thank you, goddesses. Okay, so also thank you if you're still here for the video. Alrighty, so I hope that that makes sense. This stuff has changed my life, and I'm just so excited to continue to develop this material and the process of just growing and expanding. I try to share, as much as possible from my journey, because so much of this has tremendously changed my life, and it keeps me in a space where I am able to consistently level up. The things that I have my heart set on, my mind set on today are so much more elevated than the things that I was focused on 7 years ago, 10 years ago. It's just so different. So how to really activate your queen energy and to start to embody her. And when we talk about the process of embodiment, again, we talked about it in Level Up Your Life in 6 months. That's something that needs to be developed. You have to take your time to find embodiment. It is the difference between studying about something, reading about something, and then taking everything that you listen to, like this video, for example, and taking a few months to a year or maybe even a few years to really allow it to soak up and practice. Go out, take the action and practice it. So if you want to start embodying your queen energy, you want to have a vision. Number one, have a vision for yourself in life. What is it that you would like for yourself in 5 years or in 10 years, 15 years? And one of the things that I have found when it comes to manifestation and aligning with what God has for me is I will take a idea or a desire and I will allow myself to be open to receiving however God wants to position me to align for that desire. So This year, for example, one of my desires for a while now has been to host retreats. So when I first started my company, my vision was to host retreats. And, for a long time, it has been these one-on-one experiences. And now I'm doing YouTube, which was another level that I'm still working through. But I really put intentions to develop the sisterhood and have those close connections. And just by following that desire, doing my inner work surrounding my worthiness and the type of friendships that I'm worthy of, I'm now aligning with friends that also want to do retreats. So there was the initial desire to host retreats for women, which I have done in the past, but not like travel retreats like I'm about to do in June, which I'll tell you about in a few. I'm going to link that below as well. So it was like I had this desire to do retreats. I had to do the inner work surrounding my value as a coach, as a guide, as a woman. And then the other inner work came through surrounding sisterhood and surrounding connection. So I didn't know at the time when I had this desire that a big part of that step that God was going to bring into me was the cultivation of the community, which takes that crown, that queen and cream. I like that. That queen archetype of connection and community to come through. So ask yourself, when you have a desire, just say, God, thank you so much. We can do this right now. God, thank you so much for putting this desire in my heart. I'm truly grateful for this desire that I have in my heart. And God, thank you so much for showing me where I need to have my energy, where I need to have my attention, and what inner work I need to do in order to align me with this desired reality. And then I see the third eye opening. So bring your attention to that area right between your brows. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, imagine that you have an eye just opening right there, receiving inspiration, receiving light pouring through you. And then from here, we're going to open our crown and let that energy pour through the crown, that divine alignment. And just breathing in as you see that white light coming down through the crown of your head and flowing through your spine, flooding you with inspiration and motivation. And dropping all the way through you down into the base of your spine and out your feet to manifest its place on this earth realm. We are truly grateful. And take one more deep breath. Bring that energy down into your belly, your dantian. And ground your feet on the mat, on the ground. And open your eyes. Beautiful. Ooh, that was a very good upgrade. I needed to open up my crown a little bit more. We were in that crown today. Queen and crown energy, baby. They go hand in hand. Crown chakra energy is queen energy as well. So you want to be assertive about your life vision. And again, that requires taking the steps, actions, affirmative steps towards aligning with the vision. So a feminine approach to aligning with the vision is by using statements and starting to program your conscious mind with statements such as I am aligning, rather than necessarily I am building. I am building is a masculine approach to things. We always want to be carrying our goddess energy using statements such as I am aligning, or I am elevating myself. See yourself elevating. But of course, with goddess energy, we know that the higher that we elevate, the deeper our roots are. That's just the name of the game, baby. That's how we roll. We are balanced and we are in harmony with ourselves. Okay. So a woman in her queen energy is always going to have goals that she is aligning with. And the purpose of a goal is not to hold yourself to a restrictive expectation in life. The purpose of a goal is to show you a target, but we never want to forget all of the experiences that we're having and allow ourselves to be receptive to what wants to be integrated as we strive to get as close to our target as possible. And always understanding that that target will shift. So one of the things that I'm also experiencing this year is that certain targets that I thought that I was going to have, that I aligned with. I had to do the inner work to get all of the clutter out of the way, and the self-doubt and the beliefs, the limiting beliefs, which I never believe. I don't even believe in limiting beliefs. I believe that limiting beliefs are just examples of places that can guide you to grow and expand from. So I'm not calcified as a woman, as a goddess queen. I'm not calcified. I never restrict myself to any kind of expectation, except that I'm going to take care of myself to my standards that I create through my rituals as consistently as possible. But as far as targeting and goals, I realized that God has, for me personally, showed me goals that I have a desire to attain. And along the way of getting me to that goal, has shown me some incredible things that has been given to me and offered to me as an opportunity to help me thrive even more when I do actually reach that goal. If it is still a desire and a goal that I have, after I allow myself to absorb and after I allow myself to integrate that next step. So there is the overarching desire / goal, and there are the steps, the small steps that we want to take with vigor and excitement. You want to two-step your way through, we want to two-step our way through life. I like to dance my way through life. And we are integrating those processes and those experiences to the best of our capability and showing up with the highest quality of energy, goddess energy, that we can for ourselves. So this is how my experience of goal attainment is evolving for me personally, because I am always co-creating with God because I'm a goddess, right? And so are you. So let's see where we are. So what you put your energy into is what is going to be cultivated. Whatever you think about is where your energy is going to go. And as a queen, you want to be making sure that you are putting your energy into the things that are going to help you to achieve your bottom line. And you want to be assertive about this as well as hold yourself accountable. So a conscious queen is always going to hold herself accountable for the things that she said that she was going to do, which is why I always show up for these videos. I drop a video every Monday. Okay, baby, it's consistent out here. I also send out emails. You can jump on that email list below. I always try to lead by example. So even though I might not be able to do live yet, because I haven't had the time to look it up or do the shorts, which should be coming soon, hopefully, I still have held myself accountable to showing up for these videos every week. I show up for my students, for my clients consistently, and I don't skip beats unless it's a pre-planned relaxation process. And so when you're cultivating your queen energy, you need a game plan so that each step of your way becomes a cadence for you, rather than you feeling like you're off balance or you're trying to figure things out. You at least want to have some type of structure for yourself to hold you accountable for reaching these goals, whether it is just getting educated and showing up consistently to get educated. I just enrolled in a new course. I have invested so much in myself as a creator and as a goddess and as a queen. And another thing that queens do is they are always investing in themselves. whether it be through education, whether it be through the clothes that you wear, purchasing some new clothes so that you have nice things that make your vibration feel well, not for the purpose of impressing people, but for the purpose of impressing high vibrational, high level, high quality, elevated energy on yourself. So ask yourself, what makes me feel elevated? What makes me feel elevated and motivated to show up and be consistent and to be accountable? What do I need? For me, I want to have that fresh hair. If I'm gonna show up on camera, I need this hair to be looking good. And you know, I love my red lips. I need that. That's just a part of what it is. I need my tapestry up. The one video I did, this one video a few months ago, I was painting. We were painting in the house, and the tapestry was gone. That felt off for me. So I wouldn't have been able to continue to show up in that way, because this is my signature right now. Until we get into the new office, we'll see what happens. So be consistent with your energy, okay? Another thing to understand about cultivating queen energy, and another way, is starting to realize that everybody does not have access to you. So when you talk about a queen, the queen lives in a castle. And when we are talking about a proverbial castle, because we're just interrelating these things, we talked about the throne and now we're talking about the castle. The castle is a space that serves for protection, stability, and just the desirability of comfort that is elevated. And there is also a shadow aspect that I recently learned about a castle. Castles have very thick walls. They have very thick walls that also keep things and keep people out. So you want to be careful about the castles that you build for yourself. However, at the same time, everybody does not have access to you. So a queen knows that she should have a valued counsel. Some people in your life, less than a handful, you don't need many, that you know that you can trust to advise you on the things that are going to help you move your bottom line. So I recommend having different people for different roles that you need. You should always have someone that you can share your unfiltered opinion with in your life. Okay, whether or not you are just venting, which obviously we want to keep that to a limit, because then that can become toxic if we're always talking about drama and trauma. Okay, you want someone in your life that is resourceful, so people that can connect you to where you need to be connected to get you into your next step. And I always recommend having some kind of posse. Honestly, surprisingly, y'all know I'm an introvert. Your girl definitely has a posse. So it's just a fact at this point. I have a whole posse. Shout out to the Goddess Gang. I love you girls. I love y'all so much. I cannot wait to share my birthday cake tomorrow. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna dance it out. But anyways, I think that a queen should have some type of a posse, even if your posse is just like one person. You know, it's good to have a support system. We'll call it a posse, okay? It's good to have a support system, people that are willing to ride for you. And baby, it might take you time to get these people in your court, because you know queens have a court. It might take you time to cultivate these relationships, to have those people that you feel are going to ride for you, your court. It may take some time for you to cultivate your goddess energy. If you feel like you are attracting inauthentic reflections, that means that there's something going on with your goddess frequency and your energetic frequency that is attracting inauthentic, ingenuine, draining people. So again, it comes back to the precursors for really, really healthy, effective queen energy, having that support system and finding those connections and that interdependence. Another big important thing for queen energy is having interdependent skills. So that means that you are allowing yourself to be available for the people that fill you up, or the people that you feel good about supporting and sharing energy and vibrations with, and vice versa. Having healthy interdependent relationships can be cultivated when you are standing in your queen energy. It's very important to be comfortable with fielding and receiving other people's opinions and ideas and learning how to integrate. Again, a lot of integration with queen energy, but integrating the right things. Everybody's opinion does not matter. Everybody's opinion doesn't count, but do we still listen as queens to these opinions and allow ourselves to draw our own conclusions? Yes, we do. Unless it's someone that you have decided that does not get access to you. And a healthy, good queen hack that I have learned that has really helped me to conserve my feminine energy and to also make me a supportive person is when somebody is sharing an opinion with me that I disagree with, I basically just nod and smile. I do this thing I learned a long time ago. One of my friends taught me this. I say, somebody may have an opinion that I totally don't agree on, don't agree with. And I'm like, and I'll just be like, you're probably right. I just shake my head. I'm like, you're probably right. And that just allows people to be validated because, yes, they are probably right for themselves. That is their personal truth. But a queen, because she is standing on her throne and she is grounded and she is fully embodied in herself, you have your own set for your personal truth. Okay. But you have heard and you have listened. And I encourage you to, be open to exploring because maybe somewhere along the line that could change. And that could be that one thing that spirit wanted to bring into your life to help you to open the door to the next stage of what it is you need to help you get closer to your goals and to your desires. You never know. So you want to be flow. You want to be a flow. Be receptive. Okay. Let's see. So you are exclusive because everything does not align with your goals. Because you are so focused on cultivating your empire, your queendom, because that is your prime focus, you have a limited amount of time and energy to entertain everyone. You cannot entertain everyone when you are establishing your queen energy because queen energy has to be delegated out into many places. You are your own boss. And so your energy has to be sliced up like a pizza. And also, you have to take the time to feel and to connect with yourself. So, yes, you have to be exclusive. You're not exclusive just because you're trying to appear to be bougie or to appear to be important. Queen energy is exclusive because queen energy is focused. Queen energy has an assertive vision in her life, and she needs as much energy as possible to delegate it out in a way that is going to yield movement on her world screen. Okay. You are maximizing your human potential as a queen, which goes beyond just catering to petty things and petty desires. If you are the type of woman that is a yes woman that feels like you need to please everybody, you are not ready to be a conscious queen and to sit fully on your throne. You have to learn how to have boundaries and you have to learn how to say no. And this is what we learn as goddesses. It's as simple as that. And that for some of you can be a barrier to your queen energy, learning how to have healthy boundaries. So we want to do our inner work around that. Remember that you are you are an infinite well of potential because you are connected to the source. Check out the video, Level Up Your Feminine Energy, that has not dropped yet. It'll probably be launching later in the month. Level Up Your Feminine Energy talks about the well that we are that serves the community. It's a really great video. Okay. So let me see here what I have. So we went over the committee, which is your court. Okay. We talked about who gets access to you. And another thing that I want to say is that your desires need to be properly sourced. So the difference between a dark queen archetype and a light queen archetype, a light queen archetype is co-creating with God. Dark queen archetype is succumbing to that with which society wants from her. She is putting the people's desires over the people's needs. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just because people want something from you does not mean that that is what they need from you. People will convince you that they need you to show up and they need you to have this type of availability, but it is what they want from you. It is not what they actually need. So when you are connected and you are prioritizing what God wants and needs for you in this realm in your queendom, you're able to better discern what people need versus what they want for you. And as a queen, you want to give the people what they need, not what they want. That's one thing that I have learned in my life. So for me personally, I had to make myself exclusive when it came to the amount in which I was sharing my body to teach personally, so I stopped teaching as many classes and I started focusing on who wants to perform, because God wants me to work with performers. Those are the people that I want to put my attention into and to delegate my energy to, and the people that want that one-on-one level up in development. And I'll be here to teach these larger classes exclusively. So just be aware of that. Okay. The next thing is how you communicate and how you express yourself. Queens have posture in life. Check out the video, Point Your Fucking Toes. It's a great video. It's one of my favorites. So much fun. I had so much fun doing that video. Check it out, Point Your Toes in Life. Feminine posture. It's a great video. I'm going to link it below. So the way that you communicate as a queen is very clear and it's very concise, and there's also compassionate energy in there. So from tapping into my queen energy, what I have learned and what I have experienced is that because I wear a crown, a proverbial energetic crown, meaning my crown chakra is activated, it's healed, it's connected. And because I sit on my throne, meaning that my root chakra is stable, it's plugged into earth, it is connected, I'm grounded. When I communicate, you can feel the certainty that I communicate with, the clarity that I communicate with. I don't rush because I practice my feminine energy principles. Level up your feminine energy. Check that video out. It's coming. I communicate from a feminine space. I don't feel like I need to rush. And people tell me all the time that they feel safe with me. Whereas other people, other coaches, maybe they have experience make them feel off, like they feel something, whereas they don't feel comfortable with that person. And a lot of times these people are unstable within themselves. And they are then, from that lack of stability, trying to offer support to have other people stand on top of them. And this shows when you communicate who you are, or when you are just communicating in general. When you are aligned and when you are in harmony with yourself, when you communicate, it's very clear to see that. Like when I speak, you feel held in this space that I am creating for us. You feel that because there is a stability, there is an assurance that I had to cultivate throughout these 36 years of my life to be able to hold that energy and for you to feel safe. I had to hold myself for me to feel safe and to get that energy, that guarded energy off of my heart so that people could connect with my vibration. And so when you communicate that, your communication starts with how you are communicating within your body. And then, of course, you could take a communication course. You could practice talking to yourself, have fun with it. You could practice talking to yourself in the mirror. You can record yourself and listen to yourself practicing communication so that when you have to show up, you're not talking like this, or your voice isn't shivering and you're not afraid to be heard, or you're not talking like this and everybody just has to hear what you're saying and you're just on fast forward all the time and you can't even think about the last thing that you talked about. You don't even remember because you're just talking and running over your words. Right? So when you communicate, you're communicating from an aligned and a balanced place. It's very important, a queen and her throat chakra and the way that she is communicating, because the way that you speak speaks for yourself. Another form of communication is how you dress yourself. Your nonverbals. Your nonverbals are going to come from everything that I just discussed about what you have going on energetically. And I also talk about it in that video, Point Your Fucking Toes. Check it out. So your nonverbals are going to be reflected externally, and people are just going to naturally vibrate towards that. You're going to attract what you are. That is just the nature of this reality. Okay. And this is what I have found. So there is your presentation and your personal style. So as a queen, it's great to have a wardrobe, like a capsular wardrobe of some sort. For me, one of the things that I have been playing with is I will get a big order, online order, probably maybe like 4 to 6 times a year, like a large one twice a year, and then a couple of like medium size orders where I'll get a lot of clothes in. And what I like to do is I like to kind of keep a flow through my wardrobe. When I was younger, I was more into fashion when I was really, really young. And then things kind of got simple. And then I was always instructing and teaching dance and stuff. So then it was just like always fitness clothes. But in the last year or two that I stepped into my queen energy, I realized that I had to have a wardrobe for that. Definitely have to have a wardrobe for YouTube. But one of the practices that I personally like to do is to keep my wardrobe fresh. I like to donate my clothes, or I like to take them to like a resale store, something like Plato's Closet. And I like to just keep the clothes recycling through my drobe. The things that I really like, I'll keep. But at this point, I'm trying to like keep a flow, a seasonal flow of new clothes that come in, and then like donating and purging off and shedding off, which is just a great energetic practice to do, to be getting rid of your old clothes that don't fit you or the previous version of yourself. And it also indicates to your subconscious mind that you are moving through levels, is another thing that I have found. So when you get new clothes and you get rid of old clothes, you are also indicating to yourself on a subconscious level that now I have outgrown this chapter of my life, and the chapter of my life where I was going through these experiences in these clothes. And you can also make it like a ritual to make it even more powerful, especially when you are consciously leveling up like we do in the academy. It is a conscious process. So that's just one thing that's coming up for me to share with you. And as a queen, you're going to want to know what to wear for every occasion, whether it's a business networking event, whether it is a date where you are seducing with your feminine energy, not interviewing men. We seduce, and we invite. Okay. So just knowing what to wear to look classy and to look elevated and to have that regal energy about you. I recommend, knowing what to wear for different occasions. And as a rule of thumb, black is going to indicate power, red is going to indicate power and fierceness, white indicates regality. So you may automatically be perceived as someone that is on a pedestal when you wear white. I personally love to wear white for these videos because it's just like the color that compliments me the most. I love wearing white, y'all. And white gives me a lot of attention. Like wearing that has been something I've done since back in the day when I was a dancer. That was like my color. So it's always great, God's giving me a thumbs up again. I'm just gonna consider when that comes on the screen that it's like the universe just thumbsing me up. So this is how you're going to be perceived. Wear your playful colors. And there's a time to wear like your darker, more toned down colors, like your navies and excuse me, am I gonna sneeze? Like your navies and your tans and whatnot. But when you are just showing up and you are going to a casual occasion, wear your colors. That's one thing that I had to start doing last year. And I've found a color. I found the colors that I really like. I love my soft pinks. Definitely am not into magenta like that. It's just not my vibe. I love soft pinks, and I like blues and light teals, pastel teals, like those colors, sometimes red and sometimes black. I try to wear my colors. So think about what you're wearing when you step out of the house. Think about what you're wearing when you are around the house. If you want to take it to another level, How do you dress when you're at home? Do you put clothes on on your days off? What kind of clothes are you wearing? When you go to just get a pedicure or to go to Marshall's or whatever, are you in athleisure? Or like, do you put on a decent shirt and some nice pants and some nice shoes? So just kind of think about elevating your wardrobe. You don't have to put on your Sunday's finest and beat your face to the gods. You really don't. But do something that's going to make you feel confident and that's going to make you feel like you are standing up. You might not quite be ready to stand out, although most queens do stand out. If not most, if not all queens really stand out, but you at least want to stand up and have your posture and have your presentation on point. Like you care about yourself, because you do at this point. If you're a queen, you have value, you have self-value. You have a personal self-value. And I talk about that in some of my other videos, so I'm not going to go into it today. So just make sure that you are conscious of how you are presenting yourself. And as a rule of thumb, I always say, the way that I want before I have expectations for how I want other people to feel about me, I make sure that before I step out of the house, that I am cultivating that same feeling for myself. So if I want life to be turned on by me, I need to make sure that I'm turning myself on and that I'm activating my own energy, because it's very hard to magnetically attract something that you are not, because all life does is give us reflections of the vibration in which we already hold. It's not coming out of the clear blue sky. It is because it is who you are and who you have aligned yourself to be that it then shows up. And then the last thing that I have here is, to cultivate your queen energy is knowing how to inspire king energy, because where would we be without our healthy masculine men? Thank you so much for the guys that watch this video, because apparently there are guys watching this video. So shout out to y'all. Healthy masculine energy, healthy king energy is something that an activated, healthy, harmonious queen knows how to do. So king energy wants to feel inspired. King energy, what inspiration comes from, a way in which a queen can inspire a man is by showing appreciation. Men, they need appreciation and they need to be recognized for their hard efforts. Even if they didn't really have to try that hard for something, men, they need that validation from women. We give men a reason to live. On a subconscious level, every healthy masculine man on this planet is somehow instinctually motivated to either please the woman that he already has, or to build himself up to a level so that he can be impressive for his future wife. This is just the nature of the place in which we fall in the animal kingdom, okay? So you want to be giving positive feedback. If you want a man to be in his king energy and you want to inspire him to level up, there are ways in which you can flirt with a man and you can gently influence a man. A female's queen, especially a queen's influence, is very subtle. And it is very clear in the way in which you hold your vibration. Dark spectrum of the queen archetypes tries to control a man. Number one, an example of dark queen archetype when it comes to how she interacts with king energy. She tries to control a man, okay? And a lot of women get this wrong. It's a I am the table. Like, it's the I am the table energy, like that next step energy. Like, king energy does not need all of that. That's way too much masculine energy. Okay. You don't want to be, you can't inspire a man by trying to control him or by using your mouth too much and nagging. because like we talked about in it might be the level up, it's the level up your feminine energy video. I can't wait for that video to drop, y'all. The throat chakra is actually a masculine chakra. So when you are talking too much in situations, it's because you're operating from your masculine energy. So if you feel like you're going to influence a man by talking and over communicating, then you're doing it the wrong way. Feminine energy is subtle, which means you have to be patient. I could do a whole coaching I could do a whole coaching video on this. That's a whole nother video. I was actually coaching one of my clients the other week. She was trying to have a conversation that she was having with her partner before, where he got upset in the past. And I said, it's because you're bringing this up at the wrong time. And when you bring it up, you're using the wrong tone of voice. And so he is automatically becoming defensive. You have to, what I did was I suggested that she actually make a joke about it when things were light and things were in a good space. And so she did that. And then he automatically explained himself about the previous issue. And it was all good. And she was like, I was like, yes, good job. You leveled up out of that dynamic of bringing up something that you felt was questionable, him getting defensive about it, and then y'all having a spat. You know, there's a time and a place for different kinds of communication. And another thing that women get wrong about king energy is you cannot build a king. You don't build a king. Kings build other kings. Okay? I'll say that again. A woman cannot build a man or a king. Other men and other kings build other men. So for an example, I had a friend who we were friends, and I would always give him this guidance on, what I perceived would be a way for him to level up. And he would hear and he would listen and he would, he'd be like, yeah, I hear you, I feel you. But it wasn't until he started to see examples of other men around him reflecting the same thing that I was saying that it really started to click for him. And he really started to adopt and embody those behaviors, which then in turn leveled him up. So a man is not going to be influenced by a woman in the same way in which a man is influenced by another man. That's why there is such a thing called bromances and bro circles. Women, we need our circles, and men, they need their circles as well. It is not interchangeable. It is not one and the same. So when you are spending your energy trying to build a man, you are draining all of your precious feminine queen energy. It is important, and this could be like one of the last, probably the last one. I don't know how many of these I had 6 labeled, but I'm sure there were some extra ones that came up in this process. Another thing that a woman living in her queen energy is going to do is she is always going to prioritize her empire in her queendom. So you may need to, so working a job, for example, when I'm dealing with corporate America, I always have a particular posture on corporate America. And this is to help me get to my endpoint. This is not the endpoint or the bottom line. This is a tool in which I use to give me the results that I am seeking out of life. And therefore, I never get overly emotionally entangled inside of a job situation or any other situation that is transient or temporary, even if temporary means 5 years, if you need to stack up to pay for that mortgage so that then you can be independent and have your own business and do your own thing that you want to do on the side. Temporary could be even 5 years, you never know. But when you really start to level up your energy, you really start to move through your goals a lot faster in life, because you just have these skills that we always talk about cultivating that just helps you to move more fluidly and more skilled through life. So at the end of the day, you are always realizing that you have your own personal queendom that has these established framework for itself that you discussed with yourself. You did your inner work surrounding your values. You always know your value as a queen, and you are always reevaluating what is coming into your life and whether or not it is a reflection of what it is you are intentionally calling in. And if it's not a reflection of what you are intentionally calling in, you want to go back to the drawing board, which is your internal work, to see how your vibration is contributing to what you are bringing in. So that brings me back to my previous point. We don't build men, we build queendoms. That should be a whole quote, y'all. If you stay to the end of this video, please put down in the comment section a heart below saying we don't build men, we build queendoms, okay? Because men are supposed to build themselves, baby. So always having your own. It's cool to be provided by a man, to be taken care of, supported by a man, but you always, 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 always must have your own. And it's not because we're afraid that we're going to get left standing on our throne alone or anything like that, but it is just because of the nature of what we bring when we carry our goddess energy forward with us. We have found a way in which to take care of ourselves and know that we are cared for through the energy and the inner work that we take from that goddess energy. All right. So I hope that you have loved this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It's been so much fun. I love you all, and I will catch you in the next one. One love. Mwah.